everybody. Welcome to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. In just a moment, we'll have Andy Barron and Jared Keene on with us to discuss the College National Championship game, as well as the upcoming NFL playoffs and much more. But first, here are the latest Hiller happenings. On Wednesday, January 3rd, the Hillers had their first games of 2024. Girls basketball hosted Holliston. Steve Spector and Mike Terosian were on the call.
Three-pointer, it's good. Tegan Restagini. The deep three off the front of the rim, no good. Hoppington, Caroline's got the lane, and it's good. That's a big hoop right before halftime, 17-14 Hillers. Trying to work, looking for a seam in the zone. Holliston shutting those seams down. There's a deep three, and it's good by Davies. Really nice form on that. Davies over to Tegan. That's short. Holly's tough. She's a strong girl. Rips the ball out of the Holliston player's hands. Davies with a deep three, and it's good. She's just getting her rhythm down. That's her third three of the night, I believe.
The Hiller girls took the win 44-28. Elena Davies dropped 18 points for the Hillers and collected 7 rebounds in the win. The Hillers followed up with a 46-32 road win over Westwood on Friday, January 5th. The Hillers have now won 5 straight games and stand at 6-2 on the season. Also, on Wednesday, January 3rd, it was a Hiller girls and boys hockey doubleheader at the New England Sports Center. The girls started off the festivities versus Dedham.
I think that's how it's going to be all game long. Big hit delivered behind the net, and that shot turned away. And now it's going to be put in!
Dedham ended up taking the win in a hard-fought battle 2-0. Mary Stronach and Danielle O'Neill netted goals in the win for Dedham. Hopkinton Dover Sherborne Girls Co-op fell to 0-6-1 on the season. Following the girls' game, the Hiller boys hosted Medfield. It was a wild first period.
Along the blue line, there's a shot by Wynn. Turned away. Hayward trying to close in. Leaves it out, and it's put in! And what a way to start for the Hillers! Connor Merkel makes it 1-0. For this beautiful program with some great information. Merkel's favorite player is Patrice Bergeron. Great choice. That's set down in front. Oh, it's set in! How about that? Jack Resnick makes it 2-0. He just snuck that one in. Over to the left circle. That shot is going to land in front. Turned away by Jackson. Nice job by Jackson continuing to contest Joey Nee. So we couldn't go to get a secondary shot. But now Medfield going to put it in. And you had to assume it was just a matter of time with the two-man advantage. Pressure too much to handle for the Hillers with the two-man advantage. And it's going to be Matthew Dixon with the goal for Medfield.
It was a 2-1 Hiller lead heading into the second frame.
There's a shot, turned away, off the rebound, yes, scout it! Goal Hillers! And it was Stephen Layton off the rebound, initial shot by Carter Moore. An opposing team to get back into a couple of games due to the amount of penalties. There's a shot, and it is going to be put in.
Both teams net a goal, and it was a 3-2 Hiller lead heading into the third period.
Circle back to Hayward now at the point. And there's a shot into traffic, goes Merkel. Puck sent back, high slot. Hayward, yes! Rings it in! James Hayward with a beauty!
The Hillers net another goal, and they took the 4-2 win over Medfield. The The Hillers followed up the big win with another big game versus Norwood. The result of the game at Norwood was a 3-3 tie. The Hillers are now 5-1-2 on the season. On Friday, January 5th, 3-2 Hiller boys basketball hosted undefeated 6-0 Westwood. Myself, Tom Nappy, and Hopkinton High School principal Evan Bishop were on the call.
Good move from Ganson, senior captain.
Dedejian along the baseline. Yes!
Right back to it.
Sam Dedejian quietly has 7 points already tonight.
The Hillers led 17-10 heading into the second quarter.
Pantera trying to work the defender, feeds the corner. Dedejian feeds it back. Willitson for three. Yes!
There you go.
Cooper Willitson knocking it down.
Clock was going down. Yep.
Actually, that was probably further than an NBA three. Pantera feeds it out. DeLuca, nearly lost it. Somehow able to keep it, gets it out to Cho for three. Yes! Gavin Cho knocking it down.
Great concentration from DeLuca right there. Willitson.
Pantera feeds it across to Dedejian for three. Yes! Hillers feeling it.
And a timeout for Westwood.
The Hillers outscore Westwood in the second quarter, 23-7, to take a 40-17 lead heading into the second half, and that would prove to be enough as the Hillers handed Westwood their first loss of the season and took the game 67-59. Sam Dedejian led the way for the Hillers with 18 points as they improved to 4-2 on the season. Westwood falls to 6-1. On Saturday, January 6th, Hopkinton Dover Sherborne Girls Hockey Co-op hosted Westwood.
There's a shot sent wide of the net. Along the corner now. Trying to put it out in front, and it's going to be put in.
Westwood nets a pair of goals in the first period, and that would prove to be the difference maker. Westwood took the win 5-3. The Wolverines are now 4-3 on the season, while the Hopkinton Dover Sherborne Girls Co-op fall to 0-7-1. Hello, everybody, and welcome into this segment of HCAM Sports Talk. Happy New Year, everybody. It's our first show of 2024. We are glad to be back, and joining us this segment, we have Andy Barron and Jared Keene. Guys, how are you?
Good, how are you? Happy New Year to both of you.
Happy New Year, guys. Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and as you can see, I'm representing today. Got the Michigan.
There you go.
This is a jersey that I got years ago that I forgot I had, and found this. I'm like, this is a good thing to wear today. We are recording on National Championship Monday, so we will certainly be talking a bit about the big game between Michigan and Washington. And, of course, we'll have our NFL picks as we get into Wild Card Weekend. Believe it or not, the regular season has come and gone, and it is playoff time. But I do want to start off with the National Championship game, and this is also a game we're going to be picking as well. And, of course, you got Michigan and Washington. Michigan getting a fantastic win over Alabama in the semifinals. Washington getting a nice back-and-forth win over Texas. Guys, first off, it was two great, tremendous semifinals games. And I think both teams that are heading to the national championship game, Michigan and Washington, certainly deserve to be there. I'm expecting quite a game between these two very talented teams. Andy, what are your thoughts about the upcoming Michigan-Washington game?
Should be a great game, no doubt about it. The four best teams played. I don't think there's any question about it. Really looking forward to next year when 12 teams come in. I think it's going to be even better. But they definitely got it. They nailed it right. They nailed it. I think it's gonna be a great game. I think these are two very good teams. They're well coached, good players, and I like Michigan, but not by much. This Washington team is good, and they will compete. They don't give up. And then we've talked about this before in our text chain the other day about Michael Penix. This guy could be a future New England Patriots quarterback. So he's going to be on full display tonight. But I just think Michigan's just a little bit better, but not by much. This will be a field goal game.
Yeah, I have to agree. And the final score you predicted was 38-34 in favor of Michigan. And I agree with everything you just said. I think this is going to be a tremendous game. And with Michigan, you get a team that is known, I'd say, mainly for their defense. They do have a good offense, of course, but their defense is just phenomenal. And then Washington, you get more of that kind of offensive exploding team that could put up a lot of points in very little time. So you're getting two very interesting styles in this game, and it should be a lot of fun to watch those two contrasting styles. Michigan Wolverines are more of a throw down the field kind of team, and Washington, you get more of the running game than you would with Michigan typically. So a lot of differences in styles, but two very talented teams. I'm expecting a close one as well. I got Michigan 34-30. Jared, what are your thoughts about the upcoming national championship?
Should be a great game. Andy nailed it. Yeah, I'm excited. These two teams deserve it. Again, two really, really awesome semifinal games. Couldn't have asked for much better. Really looking forward to watching Michael Penix play again tonight. Just a treat to watch him play. He is fantastic. Doesn't have the size, but has everything else you want in a QB. Can really throw it, can take off when he needs to. He's a leader. He's smart. He reads the game well. Just a tremendous player. And I actually have Washington tonight. I'm probably in the minority there, but I like the way this Washington team can score. They can give up points. That's for sure. They're not the best on defense, but they can make plays when they need to. But the key, I think, for Washington is try to stop Blake Corum, the Michigan running back, who's just a fantastic player. McCarthy will kind of do what he can at QB, dink and dunk here and there. But again, just really looking forward to this tonight. Again, yeah, it should be pretty high scoring. The way Washington puts up points and can allow points. And yeah, I mean, if Michigan can really get after Penix and kind of force the game out of his hands, which is really tough to do. Obviously, Michigan is going to probably roll, but that's tough to do, like I said. So, again, just expecting a great game here tonight.
Absolutely, and it's cool to see two teams in there that you don't normally see. We don't have an Alabama, we don't have a Clemson, we don't have a Georgia. Two teams that haven't been to the national championship in quite a while. In fact, last time Michigan went was 1997. And do you guys know who they beat that year? Washington State.
I was just about ready to say that, but yes, on the tip of my tongue. No, and guys, I think going forward too, you're going to see a lot of new teams, especially now with the 12-team playoff starting next year. You're not going to see Alabama and Clemson in there. You'll probably see them in that 12, but you're not going to see the same teams every year. This is I finally feel like maybe college football is going in the right direction because it was really starting to, and no more discussions about Florida State because I was in Florida over Christmas break and I had that game on. I was in Clearwater, Florida, and Florida State was absolutely embarrassed by Georgia.
Yep.
No more discussions.
Again, it makes you think if Georgia should have been there. It makes you think if Georgia should have been there, but yeah, Florida State definitely does not deserve to be there. That's for darn sure.
No.
That was embarrassing.
With the 14 playoff system, I thought it was very reasonable for Alabama to get there instead of Georgia since they won the big game against Georgia during the season.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying, I mean, it makes you wonder in a game like that, although, again, Georgia was playing a pretty shorthanded Florida State team, so.
Yes.
But yeah, that was embarrassing. I'm just mad at myself for not taking Georgia minus 21 in that game. Or a lock of the century right there.
Oh yeah,
I think
but
we're all a
definitely,
little mad we didn't take that.
it was crazy though. I'm watching that game in Florida and just but all the locals in Florida tell me it's either Florida or Florida State. That's who you go with. But University of Southern Florida is getting very popular too.
A lot of Miami fans.
Oh yeah, but not as big as they used to be. But yes, but college football in Florida is just massive.
Oh,
massive,
tremendous,
enormous,
massive. You guys have no idea.
High school football. High school football there is massive too.
Yes, it's incredible. It really is. Really is.
Oh yeah, it's fun down there. Anywhere down there in the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia, all around that area. Well, so we got 4 of us from
Florida,
Michigan.
of course, where IMG Academy is. IMG Academy, one of the top teams in the nation, always. Actually, in Bradenton, Florida, about 15, 20 minutes from where my parents live. So.
Yep, know exactly where that is.
I tried to drive on the campus one time and was not allowed. Just to try to check it out because apparently it's quite the campus and they have quite the facilities. But
well, their high school stadiums down there are bigger than the college ones here.
Yep.
You should have just flashed your HCAM badge. You would have got in.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually tried to flash my Metro West Daily News badge, to be completely honest with you guys, and they wouldn't let me in.
We'll have to get you an HCAM Sports Talk badge. That would definitely get you in.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, there's our prediction. Jared is the lone wolf going for Washington, but I think this is very much anyone's game. I think it's going to be a very close game. Steve and Mike also took Michigan. Steve took Michigan 30-27, and Mike took Michigan 27-24. So we all think it's going to be close, and I think I'll be very shocked if it's not close. But it should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing who comes out in this game. And, obviously Penix is a guy that I would love on New England. But also, let's not forget about the Michigan quarterback there.
McCarthy.
He's pretty good
JJ
as
McCarthy.
well. Say that again. But he's pretty good as well. So and you're going to see a lot of, I think, more than half the field that's going to be playing tonight is going to end up making the NFL. There's going to be a lot of talent on the field, a lot of good defensive players, a lot of good receivers. There was a receiver in Washington that was very impressive. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But it'll be a very interesting game for sure. And of course, we mentioned you're seeing 2 kind of newer teams in there that you don't see in a lot of championships. And obviously, you got that 12-team playoff system coming up, which is going to only create more championships with teams that aren't the Georgias or the Alabamas or the Clemsons. And of course, you got the transfer portal, which makes it a lot easier to transfer schools for these guys. So that'll certainly contribute to mixing it up a little bit in college football, which I think it's going to be very fun to see, a little more variety in these big games. But we want to get on to NFL picks, and we've been off for a couple of weeks due to the holidays, but we've been doing our picks every week and keeping track. And so why don't we get the people caught up with how the standings are looking heading into this week. I am in first with a record of 169 and 104. Mike is in second at 167 and 106. Jared's in third at 165, 108. Andy and Steve are both 156 and 117. So we are all right in there.
I think I won this week, right? I was 11-5, I think, this week, eh?
Yes, you went 11-5. So did I.
Job. Good week.
Steve went 10-6. Mike went 9-7. Andy had a bit of a rough week, going 6-10.
Horrible.
Stinker.
Horrible week. What a horrible week of football, really.
Yeah, it was some really crazy games. I mean, the one I'm most shocked about, Philly losing to the Giants.
Yep.
Unreal.
Ridiculous. You have
They are-
everything to play for, and you crap the bed. Pardon my language.
Yep.
That was absurd. Absolutely.
bad.
They didn't even show up, and they
They
started
didn't-
everybody.
They didn't
It's
show up
not-
at all. I mean,
They
it was
started
17-0
Hurts
Giants in the snap of the fingers.
Giants had nothing to play for, nothing. And
No.
but I will say, Tyrod Taylor actually looked pretty good for them the last couple of
He
weeks.
did. He did.
They might have a starter there.
You can't stop Jan. You cannot bring Daniel Jones back. Like he
No.
does not have it. Tyrod Taylor, his problem is with injuries, but when he starts, he's been good.
He
Been
has.
good.
Well, don't count out Tommy Cutlets.
Oh, we know you're a fan of Tommy Cutlets. We know that, Nappy.
He got a little playing time in that game.
Good old Tommy Cutlets.
Yes. Yeah, you got to keep him just because he's the local.
Why didn't you wear the shirt? That was sort of a perfect week, man.
I had to
You absolutely
represent
tasted the Eagles. You're not wearing the Tommy Cutlets shirt? Come on.
Yeah, that was a horrible loss for the Eagles. I mean,
Philly
that was
is
brutal.
they are really struggling at the very wrong time.
Yep.
They've been bad pretty much ever since they promoted Matt Patricia. Not saying it's correlated, but ever since they promoted
We
him.
know how you feel. We know how you feel.
is Nick Sirianni's job in trouble? If they lose this game to Tampa, is he in trouble?
It
No.
should be.
I
There's
don't
too
think
much
so.
talent on that team to not go. Not at
I
least.
mean, they were 9-1. What were they, like 9-1 at one point? Wow.
I think you give him at least another year. If they crap the bed next year and like maybe miss the playoffs, then I'd say maybe his job is in trouble. But I don't think you can say his job is in trouble after you took him to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, I mean, you don't fire him after this year. No, you
Yeah.
got to give him one more year for sure.
It
Even
seems
if
like
they
he's
get
on the
killed
hot
by
seat. If they,
Tampa, which we'll get to picks in a bit, but I actually have Tampa. But even if they get crushed by Tampa, no, the guy has earned one more year by going to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. No question about it.
So yeah, but if he loses this game against Tampa and then has a bad year next year, then he's in the hot seat. That's for sure.
well, historically, the Super Bowl loser does not have a good year the following year. That's why the Patriots, winning the Super Bowl a few years ago. I mean, it was the 72 two Dolphins were, I think, the last team to lose the Super Bowl the year before and then win it the following year. So this goes to show you how hard that is. It is tough. It is tough.
Very tough. And there was just so much randomness in the games to close out the season.
I was shocked that Pittsburgh beat Baltimore. I've not believed in Pittsburgh all year, and
Baltimore
somehow they
played
beat
all
Baltimore.
backups.
I'm shocked that the Steelers are in the postseason. The Patriots beat this team, and they're in the
Agreed.
playoffs. Unreal.
Fully agree.
Baltimore played all backups. I don't know why you're shocked by that.
They still almost won, but it's just I still can't believe the Steelers are in the postseason. Really,
I know, and you know what? I am ha ha Jacksonville. Ha ha. That's what you get for costing me in a pool.
Right down there with the Eagles is one of the worst teams in the second half of the season.
horrible, just horrible.
Wasn't Jacksonville? What were they like? 11 or 9-4 or something at one point, and then they were well in first place, and then somehow just completely.
You can't even beat a Tennessee team that had nothing to play for. I mean, nothing.
Yep.
Yeah,
wow.
Tennessee looked pretty good, I must say.
Jacksonville didn't look good. But
no, they haven't looked good for weeks now. The last
they've not played well at all.
Ever since they went for that 2-point conversion instead of the extra point to tie it, they have been losing.
I think Doug Peterson's in trouble. I mean, he has to be on the hot seat for next year.
Oh, he absolutely is on the hot seat for sure.
As he should be.
That I will agree with.
I'm trying to think what game that was. They went for 2 instead of the extra point to tie it, which really annoys me every time. I think it was Cincinnati, but I'd have to go back and look. But in any case, a lot of dumb coaching decisions in Jacksonville. And I'll tell you what, Trevor Lawrence is overrated. His touchdown to interception ratio was not good.
He was not good. No. He was not good. And there's a lot of teams right now going into the offseason that really are going to – this, in my opinion, guys, I don't think this was a very good year for the league. It just – there's so many –
Oh, it definitely wasn't. It was a poor year.
I mean, Arthur Smith is gone. Ron Rivera is gone. Staley, we knew was going to be fired.
You're going to see more. You'll obviously see more.
You'll see more, yeah. We don't know what Bill's status is, but it just, again.
I'd be shocked if they brought Belichick back.
Well,
they shouldn't. It's time. It's time to move on. Time to start fresh. The guy lets Brady walk out the door, and the team has just gotten worse and worse. And they just got off a 4-13 season. It's
worst
time
record
for a fresh
since '92. Yeah, the numbers don't lie. But I don't know what you guys thought. I mean, watching first of all, that game was absolutely dreadful to watch yesterday. Horrible.
I thought they would at least go out with a bang. I thought they were going to win. I finally picked them to win, and then
I did too, and they lost.
They didn't just lose; they got absolutely annihilated.
It was horrible.
It was embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing.
Half empty stadium. I mean, the snow. It just.
You know what? If there was any doubt about Belichick being fired, the Jets game confirmed it for me. That was just awful. Well, I know the weather was bad, but still, no excuse.
Well, we haven't heard anything yet, but we probably won't. But you know what the thing is like I don't want this thing to drag out. If they're going to move on from him, let's just move on.
Yep.
Do not make this a circus. That's the only thing that's giving me some pause right now. Is that you figured that Fox was reporting yesterday this is done, and he still hasn't been let go. Like, listen, my feelings. 6 Super Bowls. The guy is a legendary coach. He's one of the best of all time. Yes, he had Tom Brady. But you know what? Let me give you some other stats, too. Bill Walsh had Joe Montana. Mike Shanahan had John Elway. Okay? Don Shula had Dan Marino. Belichick had Brady.
No, there's no doubt Belichick belongs in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game, Brady or not. But it's just time to move on.
Yeah. And Tony Dungy had Peyton Manning. I mean, it's just, again, every great coach has a great quarterback.
And all those coaches you mentioned, eventually the team they coached moved on. It's time. I mean, after a 4-13 season like that, it's time just to start fresh, get something new in here.
Yeah, it was a bad year. Now we're picking third, correct? We have the third draft pick?
We do have the third pick.
Okay, and we talk about this. No excuses. You got the third pick in the draft.
You cannot blow this. If you blow this, you're toast.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
toast. People keep saying, oh, well, we only got the third pick. You have a top 3 pick.
Are you guys taking a quarterback? That's who I'm taking.
I'm either taking a quarterback or Marvin Harrison.
One
of the two. I'm fine with either, honestly.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to get a quarterback free agency, a really good one, I think you have to take a quarterback.
Absolutely. I would draft Michael Penix. I like the way he plays. I just think he's kind of got some swag. Like, I just take a shot, see what you got. Because you know what? If you hit a home run, that's your quarterback for the next 10 years. I mean, that's your ultimate goal, right? So whether Bill's here or not, or there's a new coach, it all starts with the quarterback. Mac Jones is not the guy. Bailey Zappi is not the guy. Draft the quarterback. You can look into free agency. Sure. There might be a couple guys.
I like Zappi as a backup. I think he's a solid backup.
You could keep him. They might. I don't think they will, but
he doesn't cost big money at all.
No.
I think you can get him for very cheap.
No, I just don't want them to drag this thing out because this is really a franchise-altering offseason for the Patriots.
But Zappi's going to be a backup no matter where he goes. The guy is not a starter anywhere, but he would make a solid backup. So I think
does Mac Jones get another starting job in the NFL?
No,
I don't think so.
Doesn't look like it.
I think maybe a team will bring him in and have him compete for the starting job, and maybe he could beat out some mediocre guy for a starting job. But I don't think it'll last long.
I don't think he could beat out Jarrett Stidham.
No, he couldn't.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think he's better. And again, the fact that we couldn't even take a look at him. These are the little things that just here, but it's a franchise-altering offseason for the Patriots. You cannot. There are going to be a lot of changes that are going to be made, and it's going to be interesting. But don't drag this thing out.
Although Stidham didn't exactly play well yesterday for the Broncos.
No, but
Raiders pasted him.
Oh, the Broncos are just a mess. They're just, again, Patriots beat that team. They beat that team. I mean, there's so many bad teams.
Yeah, you know they're a mess when the Pats are beating Denver on the road.
In Denver with Bailey Zappi, and they went in and they beat Denver. Wow, I mean that's just. And what about that Falcons Saints game? What do you think of that?
That was a good one.
Wow,
Arthur Smith is an idiot.
Well, he's
I'm
gone.
sorry, but Dennis Allen.
Atlanta, yeah.
Dennis Allen didn't do anything wrong there. If you're that mad, Arthur Smith, try to stop him on D. And again, it was Jameis Winston, I guess, who was the one that called it or whatever, a team decision to try to score there. That was
those teams do not like each other at all.
No,
man.
they do not. They do not.
But I do want to get into picks. We're going to be talking all off season long about the NFL in general and all the different situations we have across the league. There's going to be a lot of interesting topics to talk about during the offseason.
Real quick, just on the draft, I'm fine with taking Penix. I'm fine with taking Jaden Daniels from LSU, the Heisman winner, who hasn't done it much, but clearly has size, has a big arm, can run, definitely has the potential. I just don't want Caleb Williams. If we end up with Caleb Williams, I'm out the door. I'm out the door. And I'm fine with Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison is a phenomenal receiver who makes your team better instantly.
Sure.
Regardless of QB play.
And
if they take Caleb Williams, I am out.
We'll take the hat off.
We'll have a show and get more in depth into draft scenarios too as it gets closer. We'll have a draft show talk all about the draft. But we got wild card weekend coming up, and we got 6 pretty good games next weekend. So let's get into picks. The first game of the weekend is on Saturday, January 13th at 4:30 p.m. Very interesting game. You got the Cleveland Browns and their tremendous defense taking on the Houston Texans. That game will be in Houston. I'll start off. I'm going to go Browns here. Defense wins championships. And I'm not saying they'll win a championship, but I think they'll win this playoff game. I think it'll be a close one. But give me the Cleveland Browns to just edge by the Houston Texans in a very close game. Let's see. Jared, who do you got in this one?
I think this is one of the harder games to pick of the weekend, to be completely honest. This really could go either way. I'm going to go Houston, gut instinct. I like CJ Stroud a lot. He's been terrific. Obviously, they are susceptible to the big play on defense, but I don't know. I mean, yes, and Cleveland does have a good defense. I don't know. Gut instinct. I'm going Houston here.
All right, Houston. Andy, who do you got?
I agree with what Jared said. This is a tough game to pick. You got 2 really good teams here. I'm taking Cleveland just because I think Joe Flacco's got a little bit more experience. I can't deny what he's done in the past. Amari Cooper's had a terrific year for the Browns. Kevin Stefanski's done a good job. I like DeMeco Ryans. I mean, both these guys could be coaches of the year. This is a good matchup. Imagine if Deshaun Watson was playing in this game, going back to Houston. That would be big, but I give the Browns a lot of credit. This is going to be a close game, though. It's going to be a close game. Houston is a tough place to play in, too. Patriots have always struggled there, too. I mean, but I like the Browns. I think this might be a field goal type of game.
That's a good point, too. That would have been a great storyline. Yeah, this is going to be a really good one. I'll tell you what, Houston went out. They ended the season on the right foot. That was a good win against Indy they got.
Yeah.
All right.
I just don't know if they're ready yet. This is a big spot for the Texans.
No one even thought they would be here at the beginning of the season.
No, they've had a great season. No doubt about it.
Stroud's the real deal. No doubt.
No doubt. He's rookie of the year.
Deal.
He is.
That was the best thing to happen.
Maybe I should have taken Cleveland here, but I'm riding Houston, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Again, this is a really tough game to pick. Maybe the toughest of the weekend.
Yeah, I agree. This could go either way for sure. Just like a lot of these games could. It is the playoffs after all. Saturday, 8:00, Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Miami is struggling at the very wrong time. They looked absolutely horrible against Buffalo. And they have looked pretty horrible against anyone that is essentially 500 or better They really haven't won against a lot of good teams. I don't know if they're ready for the moment. They're in Kansas City. The Chiefs, they haven't been all that impressive this year either, but they ended the season with a couple of big wins, so maybe momentum's starting to shift for Kansas City a little bit. But the Chiefs have way more experience than the Dolphins do. They're at home. I don't see the Chiefs losing this one. Give me the Chiefs. Andy, who do you got?
Chiefs. Dolphins really, really blew a major opportunity this week. You beat Buffalo, you're the 2 seed, and then you're in Miami. Now you're going to go to Arrowhead in the freezing cold. They're talking possibly single-digit temperatures. Miami's not winning this game. And Tyreek Hill, going back to Kansas City, another storyline. But I just don't see it. I don't see how the Dolphins win this game. Chiefs.
I agree. Jared, who do you got?
Chiefs. Dolphins still don't know if Mostert or Waddle will play. Again, going to Kansas City, tough game. Pat Mahomes has the experience. I'm not big on KC right now. Again, we all know KC hasn't exactly played phenomenal by any means.
Right.
Most drops in the league by far. But, give me KC here.
All right. You know what the sad thing is? Now that it's playoffs, we don't get any more of these great matchups like like Chicago versus the Giants and all those terrible matchups.
I will not be missing those
throughout
games.
the season.
Oh, I won't either.
Dumpster matchups. No more dumpster matchups.
Dumpster fire matchups.
All right, moving on to the Sunday games. We got 3 on Sunday. 1:00 game is Pittsburgh at Buffalo. The Pittsburgh Steelers just sneaking in. Jared, we'll have you pick this one first.
Buffalo all day. I don't like Pittsburgh. I haven't believed in Pittsburgh all year. Buffalo showed a lot of guts last night in beating Miami. A lot of guts. Josh Allen's going to show up. Buffalo all day here.
All right, Andy.
Buffalo all day. The Steelers just not good enough to win in Buffalo. And I can tell you right now, though, if the Bills lose this game, watch out. They're cleaning house. You cannot lose this game. You're at home. I mean, you're going against a team that probably shouldn't even be in the postseason.
Yes. The Pittsburgh lost to the Patriots, and they're in the postseason. It's pretty unbelievable. I'm Buffalo as well. I don't think
Buffalo also lost to the Patriots.
That is true. Touche. But they're a division rival, so it means less. But no, you're right. Buffalo did lose to them as well. And
Mac Jones looked like
it was Mac Jones who was quarterback.
Joe Montana that game.
Too.
Yeah.
Even more embarrassing. I'm going to go Buffalo here. I think Buffalo's getting red hot at the right time. And they have plenty of playoff experience. And they're not usually one of those one and done teams. Usually it's 2 and done. I think they are just better than Pittsburgh in every facet of the game. No excuse for Buffalo to lose this one. Give me the Bills. All right, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. This may be the game of the week. This is going to be a good one. Green Bay at Dallas. Now, typically I would not go Dallas in the playoffs because they have just been horrible in the postseason and one and done so much. But they are at home. They are playing really good football the last couple of weeks. And they're playing an inexperienced playoff-wise Green Bay team. Jordan Love obviously has not been to the postseason before. I just think it would be really hard for Green Bay to go into Dallas and pull off this game. So I got to go Cowboys here. I think the Cowboys will break that long, horrendous streak they have of one and done. So give me Dallas to take down Green Bay. Andy, who do you got?
I'm going with Green Bay. I do not believe in Dallas. And Green Bay's playing better. Listen, they got to the playoffs without Aaron Rodgers. The Jordan Love era has begun. I just don't believe in Dallas. I don't. And this has been a really good matchup over the years, Green Bay at Dallas. I expect the same thing here. Green Bay is going to pull a massive upset. And Dallas, just once again, I just don't believe in them. Prove me wrong.
If Dallas was on the road, I especially wouldn't believe in them. Jared, who do you got?
Upset special, going with Green Bay.
Wow.
Jordan Love has been phenomenal recently. He's thrown for over 4,000 yards this year, over 30 touchdowns. The guy's money. Aaron Jones is playing well again now at the right time after coming back from injury. Their defense can make plays. Upset special. Green Bay, book it.
All right, so there's a nice win for me. Just kidding. Oh, by the way, we're adding a wrinkle this year. Playoff games are worth 1.5 points.
Okay.
Make it a little spicier.
I like it. I like it.
All right, the nightcap on Sunday. The LA Rams at the Detroit Lions. The Rams coming out of nowhere had a tremendous second half of the season. They were able to sneak into the playoffs. The Lions went ice cold for a while, but they have recently gotten red hot. And you know what? Let's let Andy pick this one first.
I'm going with the Rams, and here's why. They're just playing well. They have a good coach in Sean McVay. Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit. I just think this moment's too big for the Lions, and the Lions have had a very good year. Don't get me wrong. The Rams are playing really well right now. They have really good receivers, a good running game, and I just think they're peaking right now. It's going to be close. The Rams pull the upset.
Jared, I'm a little disappointed you're not wearing your new Lions
St. Brown jersey. I didn't have time. I was out doing stuff all day, man. Or else I definitely would have thrown it on. But yeah, you guys know where I'm going here. Lions. It's not gonna be easy. Andy makes a bunch of good points. Stafford is playing well. Puka Nacua has been phenomenal this year. Out of nowhere, Cooper Kupp is obviously back. But I can't go against the Lions here. Dan Campbell, a little sus, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, phenomenal. I don't know how he gets left off the Pro Bowl, by the way. Double-digit TDs, over 1,500 yards receiving, with like 120 catches, and not in the Pro Bowl? Give me a break, man. Come on. They have two really good running backs. Goff is playing well. They did lose Sam Laporta, which is really tough, but I'm riding with the Lions here.
Riding with the Lions. I like it.
Of course.
Guess what?
I would have definitely thrown on my jersey if I had time, but yeah, been quite the day. Quite the day.
I'm going to be riding with the Lions with you. I'm going Lions in this one as well. I think they're getting hot at the right time. They went through a pretty bad slump, but last couple of weeks have looked really good. I like the Lions defense. I think it has big potential to overwhelm this Rams offense and make some big plays. Gibbs is unbelievable coming out of the backfield.
Gibbs and Montgomery are a good one too.
Yeah, he's tremendous. And Detroit's at home. That's a huge advantage to me in the playoffs. I think that'll help. I think Lions in a close one. Rams aren't going down without a fight, though. I can tell you that much. This game is going to probably be like maybe the craziest game, or maybe the closest. Definitely one of the closest. But I'll go Lions. And, of course, you got to root for the Lions. Those fans have been tortured for so long. They deserve a playoff win.
Man. That would not be if the Rams win with Matthew Stafford, man, that's just going to add salt to the wound.
Yep.
He's already won a Super Bowl as is.
Yeah, there's another tremendous storyline right here.
Yep.
You got Goff versus Stafford.
Big time. Big time.
Unbelievable. The NFL must be foaming at the mouth for some of these storylines.
Yeah, sure.
I think the Rams to Detroit is probably the best storyline, but there's so many good ones.
Absolutely.
Tyreek Hill going back to Kansas City, Stafford going back to Detroit, Goff playing the Rams in the playoffs. It's awesome. All right, we got Monday Night Football, playoff Monday Night Football. Not a big fan of the Monday playoff games, but
no.
It's a money thing. It is what it is. Philly at Tampa Bay. After what I witnessed from Philly last week and that disgusting performance against the Giants, there's just no way I can go with Philly. I'm going Tampa in this one. I think Philly is ice cold at the very wrong time. Something is wrong in Philly. They just look like a completely different team the last few weeks than they looked in the beginning of the season. And I don't think the promotion of Matt Patricia is doing them any favors. So give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to pull off the well, it is going to be an upset because I think Philly's favored, but Tampa technically the higher seed, but I think Tampa will get the win over Philly in the postseason. Jared, who do you got?
Philly bounces back this week. It's one of those weird trap games where you think again Philly is going to kind of come in and crap the bed again. No, Philly bounces back this week. Tampa's susceptible on defense. Jalen Hurts is going to have a big game. Philly here.
I just think Matt Patricia is going to mess it up.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Andy, who do you got?
I agree with Jared. I am going with Philadelphia reluctantly because I don't think the Tampa Bay was very impressive this past week. I mean, they beat Carolina 9-0.
9-0 against Carolina.
That's some good defense.
Atrocious.
Carolina, man. No, I just don't think. I think Philly's going to bounce back. I just think they got a little bit more talent, but it might. I think this is going to be a close game though. But I think they're just going to end up pulling it out at the end, just because I really don't trust Baker Mayfield going into this game. Jalen Hurts has already been to a Super Bowl, but I can tell you if Tampa wins, this does not look good for the Eagles.
I think Philly might be cursed though. I think it's the Matt Patricia curse on Philly.
We'll find out.
Yes, we will.
We'll find out.
Good one.
Yeah, but I am going with the Eagles.
Should be a fun wild card weekend. I'm looking forward to it. But believe it or not, we are just about out of time. So we do have a few minutes. So any final thoughts, guys? Andy, we'll start with you.
Yes. Why is the Dolphins-Chiefs game only available on Peacock? You have arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, and then you have a former wide receiver.
True? It's only on
That's only on Peacock. So this is what I'm going to say. This is wrong. You're alienating your fan base. Not everybody has Peacock. Luckily I do. There's a lot of people that don't have it. Why is the NFL
do that in the playoffs, especially?
No,
really
absolutely
bad.
Not.
Awful.
Because
absolutely awful.
Because this is a game. Again, you're getting to feature Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill going back. I do think the Chiefs are going to win big, but that's not the point. People want to watch football.
Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, whatever.
Exactly. And the NFL, once again, is screwing this thing up and just only making it available online. People don't. Now, in the Miami and the Kansas City area, you still will get the game because they're in your local market. But what if somebody on the West Coast wants to watch the game? They don't have Peacock. Now they can't watch it. It's a Saturday night. People want to sit down and watch a football game. And I just think the NFL, once again, screwed this whole thing up. Same thing what they did with the day after Thanksgiving game. It was only available on Peacock. Stop doing this. Enough is enough. You're alienating your fan base.
If you want to do it during the season, fine. I don't like it during the season either. But don't do it in the playoffs. That's ridiculous. Playoff games, it should be mandatory cable. If you don't have a cable station, you don't get to have a playoff game. That's ridiculous. I don't like just these stupid apps.
They just keep
for the playoffs.
They just keep screwing this thing up. Really?
Yep, that's what they do. They try to overdo it to make an extra buck, and you know what? They're going to cut their ratings in half by just having this on Peacock.
It's a Saturday night, and then you're only going to put that on Peacock. That's my final thought. Terrible.
I agree. Good final thought. Jared, any final thoughts by you?
Yeah, I'm going to go a little dark here. I'm going to switch sports. The Wander Franco situation is ridiculous. I don't know if you guys have followed this.
A little bit.
I mean, again, like, we're the next young stars, shortstop for the Rays. He was let out of jail today, but obviously they're still investigating, him being kind of a pedophile, relations with a minor. The mom of the minor was like encouraging it. This situation is out of control. It's very disturbing, extremely insane. I truly, it's I don't know. It's stunning. It's wild. I mean, there's no way this guy ever plays in the league again.
No, he's done. It's too bad. He's a talented player, but
Right.
Just another black guy for baseball, which is already having problems getting viewership as it is. And now you got this out there. Yeah, it's not a good situation.
Stunning, really, really bad situation. Again, like the mom of the minor encouraging this to happen and like encouraging her daughter to like
essentially pimping out her daughter.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Outrageous.
Wow.
Absolutely outrageous.
Yeah,
and Jason Tatum has been
I don't know a
boss
lot
recently.
about the situation, but that's pretty awful.
It is pretty awful. And again, yes, Jason Tatum is a baller. What an absolute stud. He's been on fire recently. Absolute fire. What a player.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think Celtics, if they don't win a championship this year, that's awful. They're way too talented.
No more excuses. No more.
No, they're the most talented team in the league. It's not even close. No excuses. They really need to win a championship with this roster.
Really impressive win the other night over the Pacers. Held Tyrese Halliburton in check. Not many teams have been able to held Tyrese Halliburton in check. He's been insane. His stats are insane.
Yeah, I agree with Tom. It's time to bring home a championship. No more excuses.
I agree with both of you guys.
This is even more talented of a team than the last couple of years. They're just stacked. Love it. Hopefully they bring home the trophy. All right, my final thoughts. Hiller Winter Sports continues on. Be sure to check out the broadcast schedule on our website, hcam.tv. It's been a fun start to the winter season. Great win by Hiller boys basketball last week over Medfield. Fun game to cover, Westwood. They took down previously undefeated Westwood. Hiller boys basketball, good, well-rounded team. I think they're going to do big things this season. Hiller boys hockey looking tremendous as well. They're the ones who got a big win over Medfield. So already a few huge wins in the books, and the schedule only gets more and more exciting as the season goes on. So be sure to check out our broadcast schedule at our website, hcam.tv. But for Andy Barron, Jared Keene, I'm Tom Nappy. This has been HCAM Sports Talk. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and go Wolverines. On Tuesday, December 19th, Hiller girls basketball hosted Medfield. Steve Spector and Mike Tarosian on the call.
My wife, Donna Spector. Right. Ooh, a tough shot by Izzy Kittredge. Scored yet in this fourth quarter. Deep three, and that's a nice shot by Izzy Kittredge, sophomore, 6'1" forward. Really nice form in there. She stepped right into the shot beautifully. Holly looking for a little seam. No good.
Medfield took the win in a hard-fought game, 54-38. On Wednesday, December 20th, Hiller girls hockey visited Medfield at Pirelli Veterans Arena in Franklin.
Another shot there, turned away as McDonald goes for the distance shot. Back to McDonald now from the slot, and it's in! Michaela McDonald just fires it past Riley Cholera. And Medfield did a nice job at just creating continuous pressure, and they are able to break through at 5:28 left to go in the second period.
Medfield took the win in a hard-fought game, 4-0. On Wednesday, December 20th, Hiller Wrestling hosted Holliston. Holliston took the match 58-15. On Friday, December 22nd, Hiller boys basketball was at Milford High School to battle the Scarlet Hawks.
Extra step in there. Full court pressure by the Hillers. Farrell with it. And it's stolen away, stripped away by Ianelli. Williston coming down with it. Wilson fires out to Pantera for three. Count it! The underhand shot collected by Ryan Franklin. Here comes Milford. Along the corner, driving in. Rivera up and in. He goes. Up the floor, and it's taken back by Rivera. Here comes Milford. Rivera gets it over to Ballard, who finishes.
It was a great atmosphere and a great back-and-forth battle, but Milford hung on and took the win 66-63. Jack Iannelli netted 18 points for the Hillers, who fell to 2-1 on the season. On Wednesday, December 27th, Hiller Boys Hockey hosted Algonquin. The Hillers got things going in the first period.
Sent up the ice by Wynn. Around it goes towards the near side. Trying to sneak it in now. And it looks like we're going to have a goal. Racing up the ice, Ian Tosca. Along the near side, backhander, goal, Hillers! Wyatt Ian Tosca flying up the ice, backhands it right in. Here comes Hayward. Hayward looking to close in, out in front, and that is turned away. And now it's going to be put in. Off the deflection, able to take advantage. That was Connor Merkel. There's a shot. Turned away. Jack Doolin with that shot. Now taking it away was DaCosta. Sends it up. Hayward with it. Wrister. And wow! James Hayward pops it in with the wrister.
4 goals in the first period for the Hillers. They added more in the second period.
Tosca jammed up along the boards with Palma. Some good back and forth here. Tosca sends it over. There's a shot. It's put in by a wide open Corey DaCosta.
Algonquin closed in, but the Hillers were able to hang on for the 5